Hello and welcome Exiles. Today, let's talk about Vaal Venom Gyre. This skill is a banger. In my opinion, I think it's the best new Vaal skill. We'll see if that comes true, but I'm going to try to break down why it is so good. So this is the preview of what it looks like. Basically what it does is, you cast it, and it shoots you all the way up to 50 blades. If you don't know Venom Gyre, the way it works is, you'll see up here, this number 50 means you have 50 blades. Normally this caps out at 30. And what happens when you have these stored blades, there's an interaction with whirling blades that says, hey, when you whirling blades around, you're going to shoot out blades. The more blades you have stacked up, the more you shoot out. And these can actually shotgun. So, although when you watch this preview, you think, okay, this is a clear skill. This is clearly, okay, he just gets a nice amount of time where he has some insane clear and gets to go around hitting a lot of things. That's not entirely true, because not only is it a clear skill, it's also single target. Because of how Venom Gyre works, when you whirling blades over like a boss, for example, you will actually get multiple shotgunned hits. Now, I'm going to actually showcase this in game. I'm going to cut to it where I am going to be next to just a boss. And I'm going to showcase this in action with Herald of Agony to showcase virulent stacks. So let me cut to that real quick. Alright, so now that we're in game, I want to show you how this shotguns. So basically what happens is when you're using Venom Gyre, you're throwing out blades and your character catches them and then stores them for about 10-12 seconds roughly. And the point is, you can do this all the way max up to 30 blades. You see, we throw them out, we catch them, we have 30 blades in our inventory. Now, when I say it's going to improve single target, when you go to a boss fight, you get a little burst of DPS. Whenever you have these stored blades up, you get to whirling blades over the boss, and instead of just getting like one hit / 1.25 hits from the return projectile from Venom Gyre, you're actually going to get, and we're going to count this with Herald of Agony, because with virulent stacks we'll showcase the interaction because it counts how many poisons you inflict on an enemy. We have a 100% chance to poison, so when we whirling blades over, we'll go to the boss, whirling blades over, we hit him 9 times, okay? That's a lot of hits for basically one attack. And in the video, you'll see from one Vaal Venom Gyre, he got to hit basically 11 whirling blades in a row. They're all with 50 stacks, but a lot of them were with 50, 40, 30, 35, 25, 20 stacks, and they're getting a lot of hits there. So potentially what you could do is proc Vaal Venom Gyre on a boss, whirling blades back and forth over the boss up to about 10 times in a row, and get a bunch of initial damage. I'm thinking this will be very good on what I'm going to propose, which is a Pathfinder. But first I'm going to showcase the video just one more time to illustrate these multiple, basically, dashes they do. I'll slow it down to 0.5. You'll see they did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the thing is, you just name lock onto the boss 7, 8, 9, and 10. You have a boss, and you whirling dash over him 10 times in a row, get up to about, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 hits just from like 6 or 7 whirling blades. That is going to be a huge burst of initial damage, and it's the scenario where you can burst out a boss quite quickly before the fight's even really begun. That's why I think this skill not only provides a single target, or not only provides the clear element, which is obvious, and it's really freaking cool, but it also provides the single target element of being able to do that over a boss. Now, this gets even cooler in my opinion when you consider a poison character. Why do I think it's really cool for a poison character? Well, let me break it down for you. So the reason I think this is going to be really good for a poison character is simply because of Plague Bearer. The playstyle, I think, is going to go like this. I start a map out, I throw Venom Gyres out, whatever. I get enough kills for either Plague Bearer, or I get enough kills for Vaal Venom Gyre. I then can either proc Vaal Venom Gyre, start running through monsters, killing monsters for about, 8 seconds, the duration of the buff, for those generating blades, or I can press Plague Bearer and do essentially the same thing. Point is, though, when Vaal Venom Gyre ends, I can turn on Plague Bearer and start killing monsters that way. There's potential that based on whatever the soul gain prevention time is of Vaal Venom Gyre, if it isn't very long, there's potential where you could have a scenario where you proc Vaal Venom Gyre, run through monsters, then proc Plague Bearer, run through monsters, and generate another Vaal Venom Gyre. I don't know what the soul gain prevention time is, I don't know what it's going to look like, but there's a very high chance this skill, this sort of build, if it's Poison Venom Gyre, ends up being, you're just sprinting through maps, basically just annihilating monsters on this really good feels good style of play, with also a decent single target because of the multi-hit you can get when you have Whirling Blades interacting with Venom Gyre for boss kills. Now, this character, after looking at the Vaal skill, I think the most well-rounded Vaal skill out of any new ones we've released, maybe one of the best Vaal skills to date. This thing, in my opinion, it fills the box of crazy good clear, crazy good feel, and it can be a single target, basically powerhouse. I think it's amazing. I was really excited for Smite, and I'm even more excited about this. I think I made my mind up. I'm going to start Vaal Venom Gyre Poison Pathfinder. Pathfinder, I think, got a really nice buff with the change to the fact you can scale Silver Flask. I really like Pathfinder for poison setups. I like it in combination with Venom Gyre. I think this will have a really good league start. I think it will have to be a scenario where you league start and you start out with Poison Concoction. Basically, you just farm really easy early acts, smooth leveling, and then essentially around 60 to 70-ish, you're going to buy like a Wasp Nest or just get yourself like a 200 PDPS claw and be able to swap very easily. I'm going to set up a tree that will require basically the respec points you get throughout doing the campaign, and it won't require additional regret orbs, so it's not going to cost you a lot to respec. That's what I'm going to plan for. I haven't done that planning. I'm going to do that for a future video, basically the one I'm going to work on tomorrow, and I'm actually going to put together a detailed basically setup for tree progression and all that sort of thing. I'm going to put some work and some time into it because I think this is actually what I want to league start. It just seems so good to me. I'll give you a quick little look here at my path of building that I set up for this character specifically. Roughly this is a 94 tree. This is one of the most densely packed trees I've made to date in terms of all the stuff you want is really close by. You want suppress, you want claw poison, and you want life. That's basically the stuff you're going for, and it's all really pretty tightly packed. So I think this is not only an efficient tree, it not only has a good skill to boot, poison's pretty strong, especially with the buffs to Tempt Chains and Despair. If we go for dual curse, that could be really quite impactful on a poison build. I think the stars are aligning for this to be probably one of, for me, it'll be probably my best league starter I've ever had in terms of strength and power, but also one of the fastest and most fun builds just because of the playstyle Vaal Venom Gyre is going to enable in combination with Plague Bear. I'm really stoked for this league start, guys. I'm going to put some time in to actually like make a note section, put together some information. Hey, this is how we're going to make this build basically progression smooth. I tested it yesterday on stream with it. Hey, if I wanted to start as just Venom Gyre and not do a basically poison concoction to Venom Gyre switch, how would that feel? Moral of the story is if you're just trying to start out Venom Gyre and just forcing it, it's a bad experience. You don't really have the building blocks necessary to make it feel good. I think it's really something where we want to level as poison conk, have a really good time, really fast, easy leveling experience, and then swap when we have a decent claw and we can use Vaal Venom Gyre and really get the enjoyment of the build. I'm going to set up basically stuff for that and break it down, but this character I think will arguably be probably my best league starter. We'll see if that's actually the case. I mean, I'm not a guy who's going to go and create all my endgame gear or level 90 gear and then put it all in PUB and configure it correctly, and I'm not going to tell you 100% this is guaranteed going to work, but the way I like to do league starts in terms of what I look for in terms of stats and roughly gear damage numbers and stuff like that, it has everything that points towards this being a very good, fast, and fun league starter, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'll give you a quick rundown of what it looks like in just Blood Aqueducts with a character that's level 63 with just utter garbage on my character in terms of just random stuff I picked up while leveling in an SSF environment. Just started a fresh character just because I wanted to test Venom Gyre, see how it feel. Didn't feel great in terms of a leveling context, but I think you do Poison Conk to Venom Gyre, it'll be just smooth all the way through. It'll be a minimal respec as well. So I want to give you guys a quick showcase of what this looks like while we're actually like running basically Blood Aqueducts. And basically what it's going to be is you'll see we throw out Venom Gyres, it generates poisons, that gets this Plague Bearer number up here, and pretty much what it's going to be is we're whirling, blazing around, throwing Venom Gyres, activating our flasks every now and then. Well, eventually we'd like to get the auto flasks, so they're just proccing automatically, and you'll see once this symbol changes up here and it stops moving, that means your Plague Bearer is ready to go, and then you just activate Plague Bearer, and then all of a sudden, hey, it feels like we're playing RF, best skill in the game. Don't mind if we do. This will be, I have very little doubt in my mind that this will end up being a very feels good, extremely smooth mapper. My one limitation or my one doubt would maybe be single target, but I don't think that'll be an issue. I think that will be completely a doable thing, and I'll work through what gear progression and stuff looks like for the build. I don't know. I'm just freaking pumped about it. I was really excited about Vaal skills. Is just, they represent like fun to me, right? They represent doing something that's, I think, is interesting, something that's cool, and the stuff they've given here, they've given us a lot of cool Vaal skills, and I think Venom Gyre takes the cake. I think it's the best in slot. I have a really high opinion of it. I could be crazy. Maybe it isn't as good as I think. Maybe you think, okay, maybe Vaal Blade Flurry, maybe Vaal Smite, maybe one of the other Vaal skills looks a lot of fun to you. Dude, play what you like. Play what you think is going to be cool. This sounds like a lot of fun to me. I haven't done a Pathfinder in a long time, and on top of that, I haven't done a poison build in a long time. So for me, it's going to be a bit of, I feel like a fairly big change of pace for what the builds I've been playing over the past 2 years, pretty much. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to, hopefully by tomorrow or the next day, I'm gonna actually put together a full POB, a full guide info on leveling, stuff like that. So that way, if you do want to start this build, there's going to be the resource there to give you all the progression you need and make it simple. That's all we're gonna go for, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. As always, thanks for watching. Peace out.